Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. It's Nintendo News Daily, but I think our entire news section is just going to get eaten up by Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I've been hands on, I've been playing for the last hour, and whew, I'm having a good time so far. Really, really good time. I think the first place to start is this game looks incredible. I've been playing in 4K 60 and wow, just wow. It is impressive. It is so impressive. It makes me wonder what retro could do with a game that would be fully on Switch 2. Like this game just like the trailers don't do it justice. It wasn't until I went hands-on that I'm just like, "This is gorgeous." It's gorgeous. The opening cutscene, everything. The first section, it is giving me serious, like, Halo vibes. I I'm getting some serious, like, Halo campaign vibes, and that's not a bad thing for me. Like, that makes me like it even more. So, what is up? We got Cryptic in the house, Nady Nay, uh, Marvel Humor, that's all Nady Nay says, of course. He says, "I'm going to play it." Cryptic says, "Happy MP Day." So, funny story real quick. I ran to Target first thing this morning. Of course, they didn't even have it out, right? It's like barely 8 AM, and, a worker is walking by, and I'm like, "Hey, can you grab this game for me?" I had it pulled up on my phone, it says it was in stock. So, he, uh I made sure to get the Switch 2 version, right? He goes in the back, comes back, takes me to the checkout, rings it up, and goes, 74. I go, What?" He's like, "I can't believe how expensive games are now." Like, I don't think he's much of a gamer whatsoever, so he's just, like, completely out of the loop, and was just like, "I can't I can't believe how expensive games are." Just it kinda made me laugh, honestly, because it was just, we're used to it at this point, right? Like, whether we like it or not, that's another thing, but we are getting more and more used to it. So, if you guys are watching the gameplay, first thing you're gonna notice I have to do, put the game in, I gotta invert my camera, and, I'll be real with you guys, I hate it when it doesn't say invert, horizontal or vertical because it's so far in between games, I never remember which is which I need to invert, X or Y. It's always Y. I don't think I'll ever forget again, I hope, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. This opening sequence, it just there's so much going on. You got battles in the sky above, you've got battles happening down below. It's just it really really reminds me of playing like Halo 2, Halo 3, and just experiencing. I mean, remember New Mombasa and being in the Warthog, seeing the Marines fighting alongside, like, it's got all of that. I like that. Like, I really like it. And then once you get out of this section, you're obviously teleported. I mean, everybody kinda knows at this point. The footage, by the way, guys, is literally just like the first 50 minutes. So there's I didn't go any further than that. And it's like got this great blend so far of like these Halo-esque campaign moments, and then very much just your regular, like, Metroid Prime moments. I've been you guys have been hearing me talk, I've been playing Remastered, I'm, like, probably 3/4 of the way through at this point, and it's great, it feels good, it already feels more dated after playing Prime 4. I mean, which is expected, right? So you're gonna notice on screen I'm scanning right now. They made scanning a lot better. You know what you have scanned and what you haven't scanned based on if it's green or white. And so I didn't realize that in this early section of the game, so I didn't scan everything like I should have. Plus, I didn't wanna sit and scan, I wanted to keep going. But there's that to me is great because it's like you know exactly what you've scanned, you don't have to keep, double checking or anything like that, like, you just know, and when you go into areas, you can just kinda look around with your scanner open, see what you need to scan, if you need anything, and then get out. So, uh Cryptic says, "I agree. It's easily the best looking game on Switch 2 by a mile. I'm playing 4K 60, and I'll stand by this being a launch game to showcase the Switch 2." It's crazy. It's crazy that it looks so incredible, and it's also on Switch 1. That's that's one of the things that's really, really impressing me about this. Like, it feels now, obviously, I haven't done the desert area, right? And I know the arguments that everybody has with that section, and it looks like a PS3 and blah blah blah. But the opening sequence and getting into I think it's called Fury Green, like it feels next gen. It really really feels next gen to me, and like I'm here for it. At least Nintendo next gen, if that makes sense. Like it feels like I'm playing on my Series X. The look, the smoothness, all of it. It's just like what more do you want at this point? Like, this is they're nailing it right here. Like, I love it. So, Nate's Nate's getting on me about being a pilot. I know, I know. Look, you pull back on the stick, you look up, you gotta be inverted. What can I say? Uh, Cryptic says, "I will say one of my negatives is that you can't shoot as fast as you can pull the trigger or hit A. Also, trigger for shoot gets tiring, so I go back and forth between A and trigger." Oh, interesting. That's interesting. I'm trying to think, like it feels like remastered to me, so I don't know if I may have just been very used to the cadence, and that may be why I didn't really pick up on it because you can't. I think it's the same with remastered as well. You can't just, it's not like firing uh, the AR in Halo or something like that. There is a bit of a cadence to it. Let's see. Joey says, "Hey, yo, I gotta wait until my work day's over. Any tips or your biggest tip for first time Metroid player as myself? Scan everything." Yes, Nate said it. Scan everything. Just get your scanner ready. You'll notice anything that's green. You see it on the screen right now. Anything that's green, you want to make sure you're scanning. And and then once you've scanned everything, like so let's say like the space pirate, once I scan them, they're no longer green. That's my indicator that they're in my scan log at that point. So I see Steak is here. What's going on? Tune is here. Joey's asking a good question. Have you assigned GL or GR yet? Um, on the Pro controller to anything? No, but I will probably again go with a jump, and then I think what I'm gonna do for GL is going to be, uh, switching switching to the scanner. I think I'm gonna put I believe it's X on GL and, B on GR. So, Toon Medic, Steak, Joey, welcome on in, everybody. So good to see you guys. Again, and if you guys got any questions, I'm about an hour in so far, and like I'm having a great time. I'm really having a good time with this so far. Like I just got to the Miles part. He's chirping in my ear a little bit. So so don't scan. Um, Pick it up after work. Let's go, Steak. Let's go. Oh, Nate says maybe if you maybe you'll find him. I heard if 100% unlocks Diddy Kong, don't mess with don't mess with Joey when it comes to Diddy Kong. Stakes, so don't scan anything because he doesn't want Diddy Kong. Uh-oh. So if you guys are watching the footage, you're seeing the first boss fight, and I liked this. I I like the different mechanics, the overall size of the boss. Like I it felt very Metroid, very very Metroid. Toon Medic says, "How is it so far? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Again, I'm at like an hour in. Okay, so but it just it feels like it picked up right where the other primes left off, you know, and for me it would be Prime 1. I played some of Prime 2 and very little or none of Prime 3 that I can remember just because I didn't want to mess with the controls, but uh I'm l- like it feels like a kid on Christmas morning, honestly. But I am a very big Metroid fan. So like reviews weren't going to deter me. Like I was gonna be picking this up. I was gonna be playing this regardless, but I'm happy with it so far. And the world, the music, Cryptic said once again, the music is superb. Also appreciate the variety of control options. Yeah, now I haven't played with like the mouse or the split Joy-Con, anything like that. I'm just using my Pro controller, and I didn't mess with any of the settings outside of inverting. Do you know if this can fully be played on the GameCube controller? I would assume the only thing you may wanna do it with the new wireless one if you're using L to jump at all, because you can L is, automatically programmed to jump, so you don't, um yeah, it would just kinda depend on on how the controller is like, if you're doing a plugged-in GameCube controller, it would depend on if L is mapped to L or, what is it, LZ? Is that right? Yeah. Or ZL. So that would be your issue. So Nate says, "All I know is a lot of my favorite games in the '80s and '90s also seem to equal some story narrative that I care less about." There you go. Yo, Steak says I'm in the frozen area. Sorry, that's Wisconsin this morning at -7. Yo, that's cold. Stay warm. So I think Nate, what you're getting at is like the story's not nearly as important as just the gameplay, the the overall experience. The story could be, you know, is neither here nor there for you. Uh, I'm a little different when it comes to Metroid because I feel like Metroid for me is like Super Metroid really made me care about characters more. And there's there's something about the Metroid series. Samus has this kind of this just this mystery to her that I love. The and then even getting into this one and getting to Miles, like, yeah, I could hear him saying, you know, pull up your map, whatever. Like that could potentially be helpful for new players. And you know, maybe he'll get a little bit more obnoxious. I just made it to the save point and then stopped recording, shut the game down so I could get into the show here, but it just doesn't seem like that big of a deal. And looking at all the reviews and listening to all the reviews, they're like he doesn't, you know, he doesn't show back up that often. Like he may give some instructions. Like I think the biggest complaint later in the game is they wish they could just mute him during the desert areas. But even that, it wasn't that big a deal. So uh I thought I was streaming live and sipping my coffee at the same time. Oh. Not 80s or 90s, years. You're talking the Metacritic score. I got you. I understand. So reading that again, it says, all I know is a lot of my favorite games are in the 80s and 90s, and that always seems to uh that to equal some story narrative that I care less about. Got you. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. So the yeah, and again, like you let me review this game, I'm probably like the lowest. It unless there's something like super detrimental that I'm like, I do not like this. It probably the lowest I would give it is an 8, just based on what I've played so far, and how much fun I'm already having. And I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but do you guys kind of find that to be the case with games? It's like if your first hour is solid and you want to keep going, it's probably going to stay that way. There's unless it has some really like terrible story elements that fall off in the end or something along those lines. I feel like you kind of know what you're getting into. Like this feels like Metroid Prime. I wanted Metroid Prime, and I'm excited to play Metroid Prime. So, um, Yo, Steak says, it's not like I'm outside all day delivering packages, or at least get to stay inside all weekend playing for. Yo, there you go. Get inside, get warm, and play some Prime 4. And guys, make sure you got like if you've got good surround sound or headphones, like I highly, highly recommend. Um, Joey says, I heard he just nudges you in the right direction. Biggest reason why I pulled the trigger. Oh, so like that way you don't get. I mean, and I mean, it's a fine line for them to balance of like making sure that the OG Metroid fans feel like they're getting the experience that they expect from a Metroid game, and then bringing new people into the fold that are like, "Yo, I've played other Metroid games. I feel like I get lost. I hate backtracking. I don't want to do that as much." So it's a delicate balance that they gotta um that they've got to work. So Cryptic says, "I'm surprised save points return. I like them, but I know for people that's a quality of life change." Yeah, well, and here's what I do know. Um, I think it was a Go Nintendo article. They said, make sure if you're planning on 100%ing this game that you copy your save file prior to going into the final like boss fight or something along those lines. And they said it'll be clear. But what happens is apparently there is an autosave of some kind, and that autosave will not allow you to go back and finish the game. So if you're planning on 100%ing and you're not at 100% before you get near the end of the game, make sure to copy a save file. Hopefully they fix that, because that seems like a very strange decision, especially for a game like this where you are scanning so much stuff. So uh just something to keep in mind. But yeah, it's the question, I think, is would it be Metroid without save spots? Without having those save points. So I get it. It's I think you'd probably get a bit of little bit of backlash if it wasn't if they weren't there. So, and I mean, as long as you can get to them relatively easy, and like that's the thing for me. If I'm swapping between games a lot, most games you don't even think about it anymore. You just end the game and jump into the next one, and everything's good to go. If you haven't hit a save point yet, you know, that's something to keep in mind. And I've had it happen a number of times on remaster uh where I'm like 45 minutes in, don't hit a save point, and then lose my stuff, or even an hour and a half in, and then like have to start all over. So it is important, if you're a beginner, make sure you're hitting those save points often, and don't forget. Um, Toon Medic asks a fun question: do you think a Mega Man game would work in first person, and would that interest you? Oh yeah, Yeah. Um, X on Super Nintendo is where I fell in love with that series, and, I think that could be I think it could be a lot of fun. Especially, like, I feel like if they did the art style correctly, where instead of leaning towards realism, they leaned more into, uh, like a cell shaded kinda look for Mega Man in first person, I personally would love that. I think it would be great. So um, Nate says, "How about this? If the chirping and stuff bugs people that much, mute the game and use the Nintendo Music app to play music." Well, there you go. The here's what's really interesting. If you want music in the desert, you have to have an Amiibo. What is that about? What is that about? If you want music in the desert, you have to have an Amiibo. Like, what? Why is music locked behind an Amiibo? That seems to me like one of the strangest decisions ever, like, ever. And I've seen I think Andre from, Game Explain, he posted, he's like, "Not having any music in the desert seems off." Then he added some music himself, and then, Nintendo Land was like, "Yeah, why is it locked behind an Amiibo? That's such a strange choice." So Joey's asking, new to Metroid, what is the point of scanning? So you're basically scanning in Metroid is kind of in Metroid Prime anyway is kind of like your collectibles. You're essentially just adding everything to your library. In some cases, you're scanning so that you can find out like you might be in a boss fight or something like that. When you scan, it it allows you to like maybe know what the weak spots are or it's wearing this kind of armor so these weapons won't work, that kind of thing. So that's the majority of the scanning is that. The other thing is in this game you have a psychic visor and you're going to see, depending on how far we get into the footage, but like some statues, you have to pull like an orb out of the head, and then you do that with that visor open, and it's the same button as scanning, and it pulls it to your hand, and then you can release it into the door to unlock stuff. So let's see. Cryptic Cryptic says, "Overall, I'm enjoying the game so far. Opening hours set the tone and justified my purchase. I got to the first save point after meeting Miles, so we will see how the entire package is, but fun so far." I'm in the exact same boat. I'm in the exact same place. Like, it just I, I'm just excited to be back in a new Metro game in a modern era. I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm glad this game didn't launch on like in the later years of Switch 1 and that we got it now with the Switch 2 because it does just really showcase what the game is capable of. One of the things that I want to see, because right now if you play at 120, it says it goes to 1080, but in some cases I know if you do 120 it will do 1440. So I'm curious about that. I want to see uh what it looks like running in 120. So I'm gonna test that out a little bit later today. We'll talk about it on tonight's NPC. So, but overall, first hour, I'm literally with Cryptic. I feel good about my purchase. I'm excited to be back in a Metroid game, in a brand new Metroid Prime game. Retro once again, just like they're what they are capable of doing kind of blows my mind. And I think a big thing for me is I'm loving the like especially the opening action sequence. Like it felt like I said, like New Mombasa, Halo 2, like those kind of moments, those I mean they are cinematic, but just in a game that just looks incredible, looks and feels incredible. So very very excited just to get back into this. Like it's I I I just feel like I've got the bug, and I really, really I don't even wanna be here talking right now. I just wanna get back back into Metroid because it's so good. Like, the workday is gonna be difficult, trying to stay focused and not jump back into to Metroid Prime 4 because I'm really enjoying it. I hope that new players jumping in are going to have as, a good a time as I am. I feel like if you've been a longtime fan of the series, there's gonna be stuff that just, uh, it feels very familiar, and then, uh, and then if it's all brand new to you, hopefully you just really enjoy it, like, as much as I am. So, Cryptic says the classic theme when Samus exits her ship always gives chills. It was so cool to hear that. It was really, really cool to hear that. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And that opening scene where she's flying in, and I love the way the story is set up that she was out on reconnaissance and then got the distress call. Like my mind is immediately like, well, what was the reconnaissance? What was happening? What was happening over there? Is that something that could be potential DLC that we could do a little like a little pre uh play some of the prequel, if you will, or some of the story ahead of her showing up. And so when those kind of things, when those kind of elements or those little story elements are teased or mentioned, I'm like, well, what was happening, and are we gonna learn about that? So, and I think even seeing Samus in a world like this, and I know that in 2 and 3, it you know, it had similar elements, but again, I never played 3 and it's been so long since I've touched 2, but I would love to see this series get a chance to, hit the big screen like Mario and Zelda, but it would have to be done, like, very, very well. If it was done right, I think there's such incredible story here, and I would love 2 hours of just sitting back and um, watching these adventures with Samus just unfold. I think it would be super, super cool. So, hopefully, something like that becomes possible. But, yeah, first hour, I'm having a good time. I can't wait to hear from more of you guys. Make sure to, let me know in the Discord how things are going for you. I know like Joey and a few others are waiting until after work, but I'm really excited to hear what you guys think. And I'm so excited for some of you getting to jump into your first Metroid and take it all in. Like take it all in. Don't rush through that first section. Like just look at the skybox, look at everything that's going on. The, the ships that are fighting. I almost had a the space pirates drop pod almost landed on me. I was like, "Yo, that was super close." And, and even I mean, you guys are seeing it on screen right now, like, this whole area just the textures, the look, the atmosphere is there that, people were worried about. I'm like, I'm I feel like I'm playing a Metroid game. I really, really do. So, Nadine A says, "Going to be hard to beat Dread for me." Dread's fantastic. Like, Dread is fantastic. I will say this, I don't think they added unless it's some kinda move that you get later on. There's not a melee, and that to me seems like a miss, especially with melee being such a huge thing in Dread, like, and seeing stuff come up now, they do have some moments where it's like those, those real time events where like you get grabbed by something and you have to hit, you have to hit A real quick to get out of like that first boss. But I really do wish there was a melee. It just seems like it is missing, and it's a melee has been has been one of those things that, like, goes all the way back to, I mean, they had it in Perfect Dark and GoldenEye, but you had to put your gun down in order to melee. So, getting into, games like Halo and stuff, I just feel, especially the way the enemies, like, kinda surround you, like, to be able to, uh, knock them back like you could in Dread and then open up on them would be great. So I do wish it had that. I feel like it would've, a just one more step to a bit more modern, and also, like, who's not gonna swing when there's something close to you? Like, if you think about her as a character, like, something gets that close, she's gonna knock it back. Like, there's no question. So I do wish that there was a melee. And again, the main reason is just from Dread and Samus Returns, the melee really worked. Like, it really worked, and it felt like something that should have always been there, which, I love when games end up doing that kinda stuff. But overall, having a great time so far, really, really enjoying it. Wanna hear from you guys. Let me know. Let's see. The Hellshot says, "I don't understand what the analysts rated. This game is a masterpiece." Let's go. Let's go. I love hearing that. That's great. Or slappers and GoldenEye, right? Yeah, slappers only. You gotta you can't forget. Never forget. So, um, but yeah, Hellshot, I think I'm in a similar boat. Like, so far, it feels like a masterpiece. Again, I'm curious what my thoughts are gonna be when I finally experience the desert areas. But I kinda know what to expect. It's not like I'm thinking there's gonna be something amazing at this point. It's just ride around and smash crystals and, pull off some cool moves, killing enemies and whatnot. Curious about that sandworm that we've seen pictures of or that was in the overview trailer, and, outside of that, it's just like it's just Metroid, and I feel like if there is gonna be a little bit more handholdy, it's gonna be this might be the similar to Metroid Fusion, which still a fantastic game, even if it's not as Metroid as people would like. If this brings more people in and more people fall in love with this series, then it's doing its job. And that's ultimately what I wanna see because this series is so important to me, and I just wanna see it keep going. I really, really do. So, Nate says, "I think a lot of reviewers live in a nostalgia bubble. Like Halo fans, they just get rabid when something changes." Y and that's a plus and a minus, right? It's a positive and a negative because, like, that's why I always wanna, like, preface stuff when I'm talking about Metroid, I am a Metroid fan. Like, I have bias, if you will, when it comes to Metroid. Like, there's no way around it. That is I love this series. So, I may be less critical, especially if I'm having a good time, right? And then on the flip side, there are people that are like, "If this isn't exactly like the old game, I'm not happy with it, and I'm not having it." Well, you know, and it's the whole idea of just, like, trying to get a aligned as much as possible with people that you trust and that your opinions are similar when it comes to games. But like I said yesterday, I had to, uh I had to just start, like, reviewing stuff myself and not really thinking about and worrying about what reviewers were saying. So, the Hellshot says the problem is that they played it with, uh, Metroid Prime 1 in mind, and this is an evolution of the first one. For real. Yeah, I've been playing Prime Remastered just to get familiar with the series again. I beat it back when it first launched, but um, I it's been a long time. It's been a long time, so I'm like, I wanna go back uh, to this game that, I mean, and I adored it when it was on GameCube. So, Cryptic says, "I agree and don't agree with that, Nate. I enjoy COD so much, but when they get away from boots on the ground and add random skins, I lose interest." Yeah, yeah. Call of Duty shines with boots on the ground, no question. No. no question. I just like I feel like they could have taken a couple steps to modernize Prime a little further, but it doesn't those lack of steps don't make it a it's not like it was something promised and then not not given, you know? So, and I don't envy the team that has to put these kind of games together where you've got a fan base that's like some people want the OG experience, you know? I mean, even think about like Star Wars fans and just any series that we all love. It's like how do you get the best out of it while also trying to bring new people into the fold? So, Nate says, but we're not comparing COD to 20-year-old COD. Yeah, for sure. Cryptic says, now again, I want to see the full game through for Metroid before I judge these NPCs. Yeah, I got you. If you guys need a little bit of a little bit of a laugh, the short I put out today on YouTube and TikTok and everything references the dead Space Marine from Super Metroid and how he would have responded if Samus had got there before he died. So I think it's very similar to the fangirling that happened. Personally, I mean, he's alone and on his deathbed, so probably be pretty stoked. Nate says, "I'm talking mechanics or story. I'm talking about the baby's mad that Halo added sprint and ADS. Yeah, that's so strange to me. I mean, I'm a huge Halo fan. Huge Halo fan. I mean, you've heard me reference Halo how many times talking about this because I've always wanted Metroid to be Nintendo's Halo. I've always wanted that to be the case. And this this has the fingerprints of Halo devs on it. No question. No question at all. And that makes me happy. 'Cause I love those series. So, oh, that I'll put that up today. I'll get that. It's literally in the drafts. I just keep forgetting to make the thumbnail. So, and it's up on like the audio has gone out. It's just the YouTube video hasn't. So I'll get that. I'll get that today. So appreciate you guys so much. Really, really stoked for everybody to jump in and get to play this game. And uh, jump in the Discord, you guys, n64josh.com/Discord. Share your thoughts. It I really want to see how everybody's enjoying it. We're gonna end it there. We have a Mario drive. I have two Mario drives today. Just a quick bit of housekeeping. Um, one will be live tonight at 8 p.m. and the other one will just be coming out on YouTube. And it's with the one that's just going to be uploaded is with M Swizzle, and literally reached out because somebody left a review on NPC saying, "Don't listen to this show, go listen to the Mario Matter." So I'm like, well, I don't know who this is, but I'll take their advice, and then reached out to Max, and so Max is going to join me for an episode of the Mario Drive, and then Tiger Time, who I was on an episode of the Nintendo Byte podcast with. Um, he'll be joining me live tonight for one of those, so that'll be a good time. And then it's just gonna be play as much Metroid as possible. So as always, you guys play it loud.